It's time for one of my favorite trees, and that's the all-white flocked tree up in my bedroom. Now, the effect I want with this is going to be different than traditional trees. I want this to be the lighting in the room, which means I don't want to use any traditional ornaments because they're going to block the light. Everything on this tree is going to be something that softens and diffuses the light, but doesn't block it. That's going to be branches, icicles, birds, feathers, even a mesh ribbon so it doesn't completely block the light. When you see the finished result, it's going to be gorgeous. I've already zhuzhed most of the tree, and with the tree with flocking, the branches are going to tend to stick to each other more, and a lot of it's going to be simply pulling down each branch to make sure it's not stuck up like this. Pull it down and then spread the branches. Sometimes they're going to be stuck to another branch because the flocking can do that, but what you're trying to do is fill in so that you don't see too much space here. This is an example of where there's still a little bit of space here. I can fill that in with other branches. But when you get a flocked tree, pull the branches down and then spread out what's left. I use a lot of different shapes and colors of branches when I'm doing the tree, so I wanted to show you how I organize them when I'm decorating. These are the large bins that I store them in, and then I take some of them out, lay them out on the lids so I can see the different shapes and different colors, and they're easy for me to grab. You'll also notice that I'm leaving a drop cloth underneath the tree until it's completely decorated. Then I'll take it out because most of the mess will be on that, and I'll put a beautiful, gorgeous, of course, tree skirt underneath. The effect that I'm going for with this tree is nothing jarring. I want everything to be soft and lacy, beautiful, delicate feel, different metallics, so I'm going to layer the different branches. This is one of my favorites. It's gold, it's very, very delicate, but it's a lot of contrast. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to soften the gold with a little silver. Then I'm going to soften all of that with white. And then I'm going to put a little crystal on top. This is how I'm going to do the largest branches at the bottom of the tree. So one of the things, if you're using branches on a tree, I know that sounds redundant, is you want to make sure that the main branches that are giving you size and texture and color are distributed evenly. So what I'm doing first is I'm taking my largest branch, and you're seeing it here. I have these in pewter and in gold. Those are going to go on the larger branches at the bottom. I'm just kind of spacing them out. So this one is going to go right here as a placeholder. I'm going to layer on that. Then I kind of have medium-sized branches. Then I'm going to start filling in here. Then I have small branches. These are garlands that I literally cut apart, and I'm going to do the garland pieces up here as small branches. So again, I'm staggering silver, pewter, and gold so it's all balanced. And then I have some extras that aren't my favorites, but they work, and I kind of put those around on the sides where you don't notice them immediately to fill in the overall look. I'm going to build on it once it's done, but now I'm just going to finish up what I started and see where everything fits. The effect I'm going for with this tree is a winter fairy wonderland. So you want it to be lacy and delicate. This is one of my larger branches, but very delicate leaves. And I put this on the larger branches at the bottom because it's obviously a larger branch on its own. Kind of place it in, bring the white up into it. You see how that goes. Bring it down. Here you go. Now that's pretty, but it's going to be even better. I love to put a little silver on top of the gold. It softens up the effect because the gold is very warm and the silver is going to be cooler. But to make it softer, I'm going to take one of these large white and I'm going to put it on top with a little dimension, as you're seeing. Now that really softens it up and it's blending. And then here, I don't know why this looks so good, but it does. You take a little piece and kind of put it on top. So now you have all the different textures. Very delicate, very lacy, very soft. One of the things that I find is really beautiful on this tree is to use a lot of white. Now I know you're saying it's a white tree, why are you using white branches? But these add this softness and this kind of veil of white to it as well. So this is a beautiful pewter spray, but if I put white over it, then it just adds more dimension. and it makes it very, very soft. So nothing jumps out. It's not going to be overwhelmed with metallic because I'm using so much white. Here's another spray, metallic. I can just add the white. Now the metallic is peeking out. Everything is soft. It's really going to end up being a beautiful, beautiful look. Now that I've gotten most of the color kind of evenly dispersed around the tree, I'm going to start filling in with more white branches. And it was funny because I was just saying that every season I take out all my Christmas decor for this tree and I think, oh my gosh, I have so many white branches. Where am I going to put all of them? And then in the end, I always say, wow, I need more white branches, because I'm just going to fill in wherever there is space. And it's going to add this beautiful lacy feel. I'm also going to fill in with some of these because these are going to add a little bit more sparkle to the tree. And that's going to fill in between what I've already done. Well, now all of the branches are on the tree. So that's silver and gold and white and all kinds of textures. And I zhuzhed it around a little bit because, you know, a lot of times you just have to look at it and see where you want to move things and that kind of thing. But I have most of the branches on, so it's time to do the ribbon. And I love the ribbon on this tree. Now, I know right now you're going to think that I'm talking about the Emperor's New Coat because you're going, where's the ribbon? But on this side, I have one ribbon, and it's a mesh ribbon so you can see through it. In person, you can see it better than you can on video because I just noticed this and we tried this before. It is very sheer because the main reason I'm decorating this tree is to have no other lights on, just the tree on. That's the visual that I'm shooting for. So the mesh isn't going to block the light. I did double it because when I did just one layer of mesh before, you really couldn't see it. It was invisible. So if I double it, I can see it to the naked eye. It's beautiful when the room is lit up. It's very, very soft. I already did this side, and I just started at the top and then bring it over and tuck it in, kind of another angle, tuck it in, different angles. So you're alternating, kind of changing angles each time you tuck it in, and the loops get a little larger as you go to the bottom. So we'll try it on this side and see how it goes. I'm taking the end and I'm just tucking it in. One of the good things about a flocked tree and a glittery mesh ribbon is they stick together, so you don't really have to do anything. This is a wired ribbon, which you always have to use on the tree. And I'm going to just kind of figure it out as I go. I want most of them to be more toward the front, so kind of stage front, as it were. But when I'm tucking, then I'm going to change the angle. So it goes in, then it's going to come down at this angle, and there you go. And then this goes right about here. And then I'm going to loop it this way. And this goes right here. And I'm just going to kind of make it up as I go. Each time I tuck it in the tree, I'm going to change the angle so I get a really nice cascade of ribbon coming down the front of the tree. So now it's time for the birds, and I love putting birds on the tree because, again, I'm not using any traditional ornaments. And the birds are beautiful, but they don't block the light. So when it's the only thing on in the room, it's absolutely gorgeous. I have a lot of different kinds of birds. These I did last year. You might remember. I did some of these, some of these. I have a few of these. I have some of this. I have some of this. You get the idea. So I have a lot of different kinds of birds. And kind of depending on the length of their tail is how I arrange them. So I put one at the top, and you can see that one there. And then I'll just start kind of tucking them around. But that one's at the top. It has a nice long tail. So I put another long tail here, even though that one is a little bit different. Isn't that pretty? I love that guy. If I wanted to put something here, I would put something smaller. So maybe I would get this little guy and put him here. I have to put him up a little higher so he doesn't fall. You got to think of the weight of the bird. Okay, I'll have to arrange him a little bit later because he's at the wrong angle. But you can see that what you want is to give a visual flow to the tree with everything balanced but scattered from the top to the bottom. It'll take me a while, so I'll show it to you when I'm done. I love this tree, and as you can see, there are a lot of birds on it, and a lot of these birds are the ones that I designed for Christmas last year, so some of you probably already have some of them, and some of them are other birds that I picked up along the way. But I love the way that it adds feathers, which is soft, and it adds some of the beading and some of the glitter, and it's just a really soft, beautiful effect on the tree. And they kind of fill it out, and then you have the ribbon and it all comes down. So a lot of this is going to make it look beautiful with the lights on, as you're seeing right now. Lights in the room on, lights in the tree on. As you come down to the bottom, you'll notice that I did finally switch out the drop cloth and I put that away and put a beautiful silver tree skirt. And then I am going to put this is one of the laurel leaf garlands from last year, and I'm just going to put it here to kind of continue the little bit of the soft light and the pewter going all the way around. So when the lights are all on, this is one of my favorite trees, but I'm going to show you when it's really, really, really my favorite, and that's with all the other lights off. The whole time I've been decorating this tree, I've been talking about decorating it so that it's beautiful with all the other lights off. And here you can see how gorgeous it is. I have a remote control, and I can lay in bed before I go to sleep and just look at how pretty the tree is and turn it off when I'm ready to go to sleep. It really is one of my favorite things of every Christmas. I can put it up early and take it down late because nobody else knows it's here.